Hello, welcome back to Learn Economy. In this video also we are discussing certain questions which have been repeatedly asked in the exam. Um, Again, I would like to remind you that you cannot expect, I'm not saying that these questions or any of these questions will be asked as such, but definitely you can expect any questions from the session that we will be covered or we will be covering. Okay. That we start. First question, consider the following statements. You are given two statements. First is agriculture and allied sectors contribute less than 20% of gross domestic product in India. Next, around 60% of net sown agriculture area of India is dependent on rainfall. You have to see which of these statements are correct or is correct. We know that agriculture and allied sector is something which contributes the least to the gross domestic product of the country, but it is in this particular sector that a majority of the population in India is working. So here we could see that around 60% of the nets on agriculture area, it is something which depends on rainfall. We could see that or we might have heard that Indian agriculture is something that is considered to be a gamble of monsoon. So it all depends upon monsoon. That's what, or that's why it says so. Here both the sentences given are right, so the right answer is option C, both A1 and 2. Next question, the standard of living in a country is represented by its dash: poverty ratio, per capita income, national income, unemployment rate. So we have to see the positive elements in this. So the poverty ratio is something that is considered to be negative, and the same applies to unemployment rate as well, right? So here the other two options are per capita income and national income. Rather than national income, it is important to look at per capita income, which looks into the income per head or in the total income of the country divided by total populations, which would give the income of a particular person or the income of an individual. So this is considered to be it is considered to be more reliable in order to look into the standard of living in a country. This is considered to be a measure of a country's standard of living. Coming to poverty ratio, I would like to give you the meaning of the same. It is the ratio number of people whose income falls below poverty line, and this is taken as half the median household income of total population. And national income, as we all know, it is total amount of money earned within a country, and unemployment rate is the percentage of total labor force that is unemployed but actively seeking employment and are willing to work at the prevailing wage rate. Next question, which one of the following is related with Atkinson's index of an economy? We have to understand that this index is a measure of income inequality which is developed by British economist Anthony Atkinson, and this measure is considered to be useful in order to determine the end of distribution contributed most to the observed inequality. So the options given here are a method to determine income inequality, an effect of supply demand mismatch, a method to determine unemployment, and none of them. The right answer is option A, method to determine income inequality. Next question, which one of the following countries has the greatest percent of service sector in GDP of the country? United States, France, UK, and Spain. The right answer is France, uh, uh, which is considered to be the largest single national economy, and it has the highest percent of service sectors in the GDP, which equivalent to 79.8%. Wrongly, it is highlighted as United Nations or United States, not United Nations, United States. It's actually wrongly highlighted. The right answer is France, option B. Next. Question. So the next question is, which of the following would cause consumption to rise? First of all, your given options are GDP deflator rises, great proportion of population is between 20 and 30, transitory income increases, income is taken as from poor people and given to rich people. The right answer is option B, greater proportion of population is between 20 and 30. Next. The reason in the difference between GDP and GNP is what? Gross foreign investment, net foreign investment, net exports, net factor income from abroad. So I have all again and again I'm telling you that please be familiarized with all these kinds of topics. Please be familiarized with the topics with respect to the national income, which is very important. You can definitely expect a question from the session. So here the right answer is option D, net factor income from abroad. Next question, the most appropriate measure of a country's economic growth is its gross domestic product, net domestic product, net national product per capita, real income. So earlier we have seen that apart from all the other indicators of development, per capita income is considered to be one of the measure of a country's economic growth. When in the options per capita income and per capita real income are given, please take a note that rather than per capita income, it is the per capita real income that is very important. So this is because um, uh, per capita real income is the per capita income which is adjusted for the prices or inflation in the economy. So here the right answer is option D, per capita real income. Next question, the term national income represents what? This is very direct. The question is very direct. Options, gross national product at market price minus depreciation, gross national product at market price minus depreciation plus net factor income from abroad, gross national product at market price minus depreciation and indirect tax plus subsidies, gross national product at market prices minus net factor income from abroad. The right answer is option C, gross national product at market prices minus depreciation and net indirect taxes plus subsidies. Next question, Human Development Index is constructed with reference to life expectancy at birth, real GDP per capita, gross enrollment ratio, adult literacy rate. Life expectancy at birth, real GDP per capita, combined gross enrollment ratio, adult literacy rate. Life expectancy, GDP per capita, infant mortality rate, literacy rate. GDP per capita, infant mortality rate, literacy rate. So yeah, we have to pick the right combinations which would constitute a human development index. We have done several videos and we have dealt with several questions in the case of gross development index, and we have to see that code 1 and 2 are the right ones. So actually this human development index, it's a geometric mean of life expectancy, education index and income index. That's why we would take into consideration the standard of living, life expectancy, education, etc. here. Next, consider the following statement relating to estimation of national income. You are given three statements. Foreigners working in Indian embassies are normal residents of India. Foreigners working in office at WHO, World Bank, UNO, etc. located in India are not normal residents of India. Indians working in foreign embassies in India are not normal residents of India. Here the right answer is option B, that is 1 and 3. Next question, which of the following statements are correct? Here given two statements. If a country is experiencing increase in its per capita GDP, its GDP must necessarily be growing. If country is experiencing negative inflation, its GDP must be decreasing. So you have to see which is the right answer. Here only sentence 1 is right answer. You have to see that negative inflation is the decrease in price level and economic growth is considered to be an increase in the GDP. So a decrease in inflation means price has fallen and increase in purchasing power of money, and and it is increased consumption, therefore GDP would increase. Next question, national income ignores what? Sale of a firm, salary of employees, exports of IT sector, sale of land. Actually, it would not take into consideration the sale of land. You have to be very important. You have to be very careful while answering all these kinds of questions. So you have to be familiar with the national income concepts and also the inclusion exclusion criteria in national income accounting. Next, consider the following statement. High growth will lead to inflation. High growth will lead to deflation. Which is the correct answer? You might, after reading the sentences, you would understand that if one is right, two is wrong. If two is right, one is wrong, because one sentence is the opposite of other. So you would be you would be actually you could eliminate option C. Chances can be there that neither one nor two, but only less chance. So here the option 1 is only the right answer. We could see the high inflation is something which is caused by economic growth, and that too strong economic growth. If aggregate demand in an economy expands faster than aggregate supply, then there would be high inflation in the economy. If demand is rising faster than supply, that means that economic growth is higher than long run sustainable rate of growth. So the right answer is option 1, sorry, option A, only 1. Next question. The effect of government surplus above equilibrium level of NNP, that is net national product, is substantially same as dash. And increase in investment, increase in consumption, increase in saving, decrease in saving. Right answer is option B, increase in consumption. Next question. Share of food in total consumption expenditure has been coming down as per capita income grew over time in the last 60 years because people have been purchasing less food. People have been preferring non-cereal items in the food basket. Growth in food expenditure has been lower than growth in per capita income. The right answer is that growth in food expenditure has been lower than growth in per capita income. Next, okay, today we are ending to the session. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more videos. And you can be a part of my Telegram group and Telegram channel to discuss your doubts. That's it. Thank you.